We just like to keep this so that if people have a scheduling conflict, we can share it afterwards with everybody and they can hop on and learn. So welcome. I think you know me by now. I'm Carolyn Matisky. I work at the SUNY System Administration as the director for the SAIL Institute and Organizational Development. And I'm happy to be here with my partner in crime, Brandon Huck from BizLibrary. He is the SUNY Account Success Manager. Brandon, did I botch your title? That's what I refer to you as.
That works.
Okay.
I think on paper it's Client Success Manager, but that works too. Call me whatever. I'll just as long as it doesn't include more work. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, well, we've been giving Brandon quite a lot of work lately, but it's all for a good cause, and we're in the process of renewing the contract. So you know that SUNY System has had an established contract for 3 years, and now is the time to renew. And so that's happening. So he's been busy with that and working with all of our campuses to get them through this process as well. So we actually had a wonderful meeting, was it last week? Time flies, to try and communicate what we're doing together as a community of practice with the larger SUNY community so that they know about this resource and that we would love to have more SUNY campuses involved and have a contract with BizLibrary. So the larger we can you sort of leverage this resource of our LMS and our compliance and professional development training, the better and stronger we will all be. And so we had an informational call with them, with the campuses that are not contracted with BizLibrary currently, so they know about the renewal rates and that this is available, that we meet quarterly and we continue our learning and holding each other accountable. And so with that, I will transition into our community of practice session. The agenda was attached to the Outlook invitation, but just as a quick lay of the land here, what we've got planned, I am going to pass things over to Brandon momentarily, and he will give us any updates on his end about the platform, content updates, any best practices, things that are working well with other clients that he wants to make sure SUNY that we're aware of. And I've already sort of given you the preview about our renewal process. So if there's anything more that he would like to add about that and bringing new SUNY campuses into the fold, he can do that. We don't have Sam with us today to do the training refresh. We could invite her back for the next one in 3 months and see if there's anything that you all are looking for, but we don't have that built into today's program. And obviously, we always have open dialogue and opportunity for you to ask questions. So at any point, unmute and ask your question or put it in chat, and we'll make sure that we get to it in the next hour. So to break a little ice, if you do have a webcam and want to put it on, we would love to keep you engaged that way. Otherwise, feel free, if this is your lunchtime and you're eating, we understand. But we want to just see who's on the call. And so if you could remind us of your name and your campus and your role, our icebreaker questions. I've got one personal question and one professional question today. So we'll go around and share what was your favorite breakfast cereal as a child. Just sort of a fun question. Hopefully bring you back to a positive, fun time in your life. And the professional question is, what do you love about your work? What do you love about your job? So, Brandon, you want to go first?
I'll go first. You're going to pinpoint me on my favorite cereal. I had quite a few. My mom growing up insisted that we picked cereals that were under a certain amount of sugar count. So my early years were spent with some of the standard low sugar ones, but my favorite is Captain Crunch for sure. The standard Captain Crunch with the berries, that's the best. But I think my favorite part about I'll specifically relate it to the SUNY partnership is having this opportunity to network, as well as, share in a group setting any updates from BizLibrary and new resources. So this is my favorite part. As Carolyn mentioned, we had a webinar last week for all non-client SUNY campuses, and I told them the same thing. This is my favorite part of the partnership. So I know it's an hour to pinpoint on multiple schedules. So I know we don't always have everybody attend, but I love when you can carve out the time. So
Good. Well, I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch, so I'm going to go Cinnamon Toast Crunch all in. And if you gave me a bowl now, I'd probably still enjoy it. It's been a long time though. And what I love about my job is that I get to help leaders understand their strengths and what resonates with people so that they can do more of that. And I love being able to offer them strengths-based strategies. So they bring more of their best selves to their work. They've got a hard job as leaders, and just helping them to see themselves a little more clearly is probably my favorite part.
love that.
Eric, you want to go?
Sure, I'll go. So Eric Hughes, I work at SUNY Cortland, and I'm a human resources assistant. And my favorite cereal growing up would be Lucky Charms. I was notorious for just eating the marshmallows and leaving the rest, but and the part about this position that I like the most is helping people improve their skills and just working with people in general.
Eric, what is your title?
Human resources assistant.
Okay, good. Thank you. Oh, Heather, would you like to go?
Sure, and I apologize, my camera's not working right today. But I'm Heather Orm from SUNY Geneseo. I'm a personnel associate. My campus title is senior employment specialist. I do a lot with classified employment. Favorite cereal as a kid was Life cereal, which is a plain one for a kid, but I always liked it. And I really love just getting people in and joining our campus and finding jobs that are a good fit, and then seeing them stay, helping them find ways to move up within Geneseo and on campus.
Good, great. My little Zoom screens are adjusting a little bit. I was trying to go around in a circle, but Nick, would you like to go next? Oh, you're muted.
All right, there we go. Is that working?
Good, we can hear you.
So I work at SUNY Brockport. I'm also a Cinnamon Toast Crunch fan.
Yes.
With Rice Krispies a close second, but they're still in the number 2 position. They're not in the number 1 position. And my favorite part of my job is the people I get to work with, and just being able to creatively solve problems that come up.
Great. Welcome. Tammy. And you get to work with Nick.
I think Tammy put hers in the chat here.
Yeah, Tammy's
Oh, okay. Her audio is not working. Assistant VP for HR at SUNY Brockport. Favorite cereal is Lucky Charms, and still is today. All right. I love the variety of my position and the great team that I work with, including Nick. I added that part. Or underscored. Oh, excellent. Thanks, Tammy. Rebecca.
My name is Rebecca Eggleston. I work at Buffalo State. And at this point, I'm still kind of in transition mode, but I am the professional development assistant, technically is my title right now. However, I am doing more work with compliance trainings and BizLibrary in general. So my favorite cereal when I was a kid was Captain Crunch, the peanut butter one though. And I really didn't eat cereal again until I was pregnant, and that was the only thing that I could stomach for the first trimester, so I got back to Captain Crunch peanut butter.
Well, I think your microphone is having some issues.
I think I don't use Zoom very often, so I think that's probably why. Our campus uses Teams, so whenever I go on Zoom, I feel like this happens to me.
So we got most of it. The peanut butter Captain Crunch I have never tried, so now you're making me want to try it.
It's very good. And what I love about my job is new employee orientation. So I really enjoy meeting our new employees that we have coming to campus and seeing how we can collaborate with them on future projects and programs.
Oh, great. Nice to meet you and get to know you a little better. Nadia.
Got hers chatted in too.
Oh, okay.
Cinnamon Life. The Life brand. Okay, I'm trying to walk down the cereal aisle. I'm envisioning that box of cereal. So new one there. Favorite part is being a part of supporting all the amazing research across the system. Nadia's from the Research Foundation. So perfect.
Great. Well, thank you for playing along with our icebreaker for the day. And we would love to include more SUNY campuses in this community of practice. So we will share the recording of today's session so that anyone who's on our list, we do have a nice healthy group now. We've got Alfred State, Brockport, Buffalo State, Construction Fund, Portland, SUNY ESF, Geneseo, Hudson Valley Community College, Potsdam, System Administration, and the Research Foundation for SUNY. So we've got quite a good group in our community of practice. And I know after our informational session last week, Brandon had a few potential client calls. So more SUNY campuses that are interested in learning about this solution, this LMS and compliance training as a solution for their needs. So hopefully we'll have a few more in 2023. And thanks to Brandon, he is able to have that relationship with all of us and keep some consistency. So welcome, Brandon, and the Zoom floor is yours.
All right, cool. Thank you, Carolyn. And yeah, as she shared, definitely looking forward to growing the partnership this year. Big goal within our SUNY partners is optimizing our current partnerships, increase that return on investment, and then bring in even more partners to the mix. So Carolyn, can you see my screen okay?
Yeah, full color, looks great.
All right, awesome. So I wanted to, I've got quite a few updates, and if I want to make time for the open discussion towards the end. So if I start running and rambling, please jump in with any questions, thoughts, concerns, anything, any input that you have throughout this. But I want to talk about our current partnerships and upcoming renewals and things like that. We've got some great webinars. I know majority of people that I work with at the SUNY campuses are HR professionals. So we do have SHRM and forget the other acronym, but we do have the credit webinars available for your continuing ed as an HR professional. Introduce client awards, talk about updates to our technology and content, and then touch on some opportunities that we have in terms of hearing from you about where you would like to see our content evolve this year and what additions could really benefit your campus. So with that, real quick note, we have 4 SUNY partners that have already extended their initial term with us: Geneseo, Buffalo State, Cortland, and the Construction Fund. System Administration, we're right there, just ironing out some kinks there. And then just to highlight, like, we're not up against any timelines or anything. I'm fully certain that we'll get there with all of the other ones that we have through the end of the year, as well as the early part of next year. But just some target dates as far as the ends of our current terms with individual campuses. So with that too, I expect this week, maybe next week, we have an additional SUNY coming on board. I will save the announcement until it's official. But great webinar last week. Special shout out to Carolyn for joining the meeting and sharing her input with her experience with BizLibrary, as well as Rebecca and Eric for providing some testimonial feedback that we were able to share during our presentation. So thank you so much. Webinars. I included this link. We'll send out this deck after our call today, but we have some phenomenal webinars coming up for a lot of it's driven towards ROI and leadership development. specifically here this quarter. But my colleague David Butler is doing one on blended learning and how to leverage the system and our content to bring in blended learning opportunities to your culture. But these are great, great information, great resources, great presenters. If you click the link in here, you'll see all of our upcoming webinars that we have. These don't have to be specific to administrators in the LMS. Anybody can attend these. So feel free to spread the word. New for us this year is, well, not new. BizLibrary does our Align conference in the fall traditionally, and it's really geared towards awards for our clients. And this year we're getting the announcement out super early so we can have as many people apply and engage with the awards as possible. And just to kind of highlight a couple of opportunities here is you'll see the list for 6 awards that we have, from upskilling to overall experience to new program launches. These are I have a couple of clients that have received awards in the past, and they like take them from location to location. They highlight them on their LinkedIn profiles. There's a lot of hype around the BizLibrary awards amongst a lot of my clients, and we've done some great things within a lot of our SUNY partners. And if one of these awards interests you and we want to seek out applying for it, you can self-nominate. I can nominate you, but I'm more than happy either way to walk through the application process with you to make you really stand out amongst the crowd. So I'll stop there. Any questions on BizLibrary awards or webinars or renewals so far? All right, cool. So talking along here, LMS updates. It's actually Sam. It was my fault. Sam was supposed to join us today, and Carolyn and I have had so many conversations lately. I think it got lost in translation or lost along the way. But we do have a lot of new features, so I'll make sure and have Sam come to our next meeting to go through specifically a couple that I'll highlight here. But just in terms of LMS enhancements since the last time we connected, the virtual classroom continues to evolve. Just like we're meeting here in Zoom right now, this can happen in the LMS as well, with those group live training opportunities with a native embedded essentially Zoom or Microsoft Teams in our platform. We really want to centralize the LMS as where learning happens. So with that, we understand not everybody's going to watch on-demand content. Good learning culture is a mix of live, on the job, as well as on-demand training. So that solution continues to evolve. That is currently live within everybody's LMS, the option to have those live classroom sessions. A couple of other things here. If you are uploading custom content, which I know many of you are, related to like specific campus policy or just specific content for your campus, there's now a bulk upload option where you can grab several files at the same time rather than doing them one by one, which is nice. And with those custom content or with any of our BizLibrary off-the-shelf content, you can now go in and have a little bit more fun with your descriptions and bring in different fonts and colors and hyperlinks and all of that fun stuff. So I think last one that I'll note here that I want Sam to come and teach us a little bit about next time around is the elective usage reporting. It's always tough to go into reporting and find out, all right, what are learners viewing that's required that we assign out to them, and what learners are going into the system and just searching for things themselves and developing themselves without any direction, essentially doing it electively. So we have some new reporting capabilities within the reporting section of the LMS that can target elective usage within the platform. So lots of, I wouldn't say any of these are real major enhancements to the LMS, just kind of reimagining and optimizing some functions that currently exist. I'll stop there before I venture into content. Any questions?
Nothing in the chat, Brandon, and I don't see any hands raised.
All right,
Doing a
cool.
good job.
All right, so new releases. We've had since our last meeting, met last in January, 115 BizLibrary production releases that we've released from our own production studio, and 556 total releases. Just in those are both courses and lessons. So if you factor a course is made up of multiple lessons, in reality, it might be closer to like 520. I just wanted to leave that caveat there. But we've had some great new releases. I highlighted some of them here. You'll see a lot of them are from our Expert Insight series, where we're essentially bringing on subject matter experts that have their own platforms that are experts in the field that they're presenting on, to produce courses with BizLibrary. I took the Science and Secrets of Real Confidence with Alyssa DeVer. She's phenomenal. Fun fact, I guess, which I learned on a call just the other day with my content team. She does a lot of training and employee development with L'Oreal. So if we have any L'Oreal fans, she's a big part of their advancement and development there. But she's got the ERG intelligence. Employee resource groups is kind of a buzzword lately with a lot of my clients. So if you have any ERGs across campus, that can definitely bring and foster some great conversation. Negotiation, financial planning, all great there. So, and I believe most of the campuses, if not all, leverage the Office suite, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Our producer partner, Bigger Brains, has released updated content specifically related to Office 365. A lot of the stuff in there previously was related towards Office 2019, which not much changed except for the big fact that it's now like cloud accessible and things like that. A lot of the functionalities are similar, but just some updated trainings for the Office suite there. So those are kind of some new individual courses, but we do also have some exciting news on our producer front. So we have Pact and Skillsoft will be joining our library here to be rolled out continuously throughout this quarter. Pact and Skillsoft are both bringing IT-specific content. So programming, web development, data and storage. You can see the additional topics here listed, but per client feedback, we were really not hitting the mark for some clients in these categories. So we really took that feedback and said, well, for us to produce and continue, obviously technology continues to evolve, just wasn't in BizLibrary Production's best interest to produce that in-house. So we sourced some partners to bring into the BizLibrary collection. Neither of these listed here are coming at an additional cost. They will be added to our current library. So super excited about Pact and Skillsoft. Even more so excited about Vector Solutions. Similar to IT, there were a couple safety areas that we again received employee feedback on, just kind of missing the mark on some DOT trainings, accident prevention, safe driving, some of those areas that maybe relate a little bit more to like any physical plant employees that you have at campus. But their content is actually, there's already like 100 courses in there with more to come. So with these additions, our library today has like 10,300 titles in it. By the end of this quarter, we expect it to push 16,000 titles within our library offering. So again, that comes at no additional cost to the library subscriptions that you have today. So we're thrilled. And I know for a lot of clients, this addresses a lot of needs. I'll pause there. Any questions on these additions, when to expect them, anything like that?
That's what I was just going to ask. Like, when did these expected to be added and be able to be accessed?
Yep. Ongoing this quarter. I know PACT has a couple hundred that have already been released into the library. Vector Solutions has, I think, maybe 50 or 60 in there right now, with several hundred to come. And Skillsoft, I don't think there's anything new in there just yet, but here in the coming weeks. So within this quarter, all of these partners should have their full libraries within our product offering. So I will say too, on the PACT and Skillsoft, when it comes to IT and development and technology, I'm as far advanced as my cell phone. I don't know much else into programming or coding or anything like that. And maybe you aren't super knowledgeable in that realm either. That's fine. I'm more than happy to connect with any IT professionals on campus that have a need for these trainings, and just get a list of their topic areas, their needs, and get with my content team to actually map out content specific to their needs. So if you told me, hey, I need to start looking at some software development training, I wouldn't even know where to start, to be honest with you. Cool. Staying on that topic of content, Expert Insight series, BizLibrary subject matter expert content has some exciting releases coming soon. Freedom from Racism with Marshall Fields should be rolled out here this week or next week. We've got some marketing insight there. A couple of additional DE&I ads, disability inclusion with Liz Johnson. I don't know her entire story, but Liz Johnson is a paraplegic athlete from the UK that really coaches up managers and even employees in that disability inclusion conversation. So I'm excited to learn more about Liz. Additionally, Dr. Glick doing the Manager's Guide to Belonging Culture. She's phenomenal. She's worked with some super large organizations on that very topic. So we're thrilled to have her on board at BizLibrary to share her skill set. So very excited about Expert Insights. Last thing on the content, we're really invested this year on opening up opportunity for our clients to, and we've had this all along. We just, didn't really, maybe I did a poor job, or we didn't let the opportunity to be known for really our clients' feedback on what content do you like, where are we missing the mark, and where do you want or need content. And I think for SUNY specifically, if there's any areas in the education training realm that we can provide you all with some additional resources on, we're happy to do so. Good rule of thumb, I'm going to turn my space heater down a little bit. Good rule of thumb here is that anything that we can produce in conjunction with you all, like if you all have an idea for a piece of content, we want to work with you to make sure it addresses your need. We'll share like scripts, we'll help, or we'll involve you in the planning of courses. But if it's something that we can release to the BizLibrary collection to be available for all clients, it's not going to come at any cost to your campus or the SUNY partnership. It's when we get into like, welcome to SUNY Cortland specific type of trainings where there's additional cost associated with creating custom content like that. But if it's something that a lot of our clients or other universities or state entities could leverage, that we could put in our library, it would come at no cost to you all. We just want that feedback and to know where we can really help drive your learning culture. So I'll stop there, but just, and I know that creating new content or soliciting your ideas is something I'm just throwing out there right now, but are there any, I know I've heard from the Research Foundation on grant writing and some specific areas there, but does anybody have any additional topic areas that you think would be like broad enough to maybe be beneficial to all the SUNY campuses?
Brandon, I'd be happy to explore this with you. Maybe if we set up a separate time to talk about it, but the SAIL Institute offers a lot of leadership development specifically for higher ed leaders. So there's a lot there, lots of different topics: mindfulness, mindful leadership, 360s, and communicating the importance of a 360 review for a leader.
Okay.
So there's a lot that we could offer, and if that would be of interest for your other clients or potential clients to see some higher ed specific content that helps leaders in this sector, I'd be happy to explore that with you.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's definitely continue that. I just in the clients that I work with, I have several higher ed clients, so I know that any additional trainings around your environment would definitely help.
Yeah, and I'll underscore the RF's request for grant writing, because that's has renewed interest with our new chancellor at SUNY,
Okay.
and to try to increase or positively impact the culture at SUNY to increase research capability and applications. So I think that's a broad interest topic all across SUNY now. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that, and we can get into a more in-depth conversation on grant writing, but is it very specific, like to the New York, like, would it be very specific to New York, or just broad and like general grant writing that could apply to anybody?
I think it would be applicable to anyone. And especially when it comes to like NIH or the bigger federal agencies that a lot of people would be applying for. It'd be Nadia, I'm gonna pass it over to you. I don't know if you want to unmute and share this, but I see your chat's flooding in here. She would be the better contact to answer this. It's fairly broad, not state specific, largely federal.
Okay.
And then Tammy's adding here conflict resolution, effective dialogue, more around communicating with others effectively.
Okay, cool. On the grant writing, let's explore that a little bit further. Maybe we can set up a call with the Research Foundation and yourself, Carolyn, and dive into like what specific skills within that, like something that I could take to my content team to just spark up the conversation, and then go from there. So
that sounds great.
And then Tammy, on your request, I know we've got several new releases on conflict resolution. That's one of the areas that is probably like the number one area that I get requests about. But a couple of different avenues to explore with that is like peer-to-peer, supervisor to employee, and then of course like employee to customer type thing as well. But I'll send you some things that we have new, but if you have any requests for anything that would really benefit, if there's any nuances with working in an education system that would help with that too, we can look at some custom avenues there. So cool. I wanted to start this conversation around I know we've got like some FERPA, some Title IX, some other like education specific trainings obviously with New York, we've got some New York specific ones in there, but I want to make sure that if feedback is there, that you all know that we are open to like any sort of ideas that you all have that would benefit you more. Rhea and Rebecca's here. Mental health issues with students. Okay. Teach Gen Z students. That's interesting. I know we don't have any directed towards students and how to engage and manage Gen Z students. I can imagine the challenge there, but my wife's a teacher, but I will, I'll put that in as a content recommendation and tag you in it, Rebecca, if you can provide some additional context to that. Looking at Nadia's changing regarding preventing harassment and discrimination. Yeah, one thing to note with our anti-harassment compliance content is it's vetted every 6 months by a law firm. I forget the name of it off the top of my head. They're like the biggest employment law firm in the country, but they review all of our content every 6 months to ensure that all of the state-specific content addresses the mandates. So I'm sure that we are on top of that, but if you want to send me any context that you have to that, I can forward it along to my content team and make sure that they're aware of the changes coming. Probably are, but I agree. I can double check for you. Cool, great. And I'm happy to continue these around like specific campus needs as well. As a group, if there's some big overarching needs across all the campuses, that would be huge as well, that everybody could benefit from.
Yeah, I add a little more to the chat, Brandon, about the grant writing, because we've had a team getting together every month that brings the RF and SUNY together to try to define what the needs are. And so that's from a document we've got. Goal of helping the campus teams define grant writing and sponsor research goals and identify strategies for supporting what they need to meet those goals. So it's like bringing the leadership together and helping them set appropriate goals and then be able to figure out what they need to set in place so that their faculty can meet those.
Cool. Okay. And just to maybe some addition around that, if there's any like grant writing guru or somebody at the Research Foundation or across SUNY that like specializes in training on this now, that maybe we could network with, or maybe even solicit them for help in producing this, that would be huge.
Yeah, I feel like I'm stealing Nadia's thunder here, but she's got audio issues, so I'm just going to add. Hopefully I'm not overspeaking Nadia. The CPD Center for Professional Development at SUNY has a course that's developed, and they offer it every semester on grant writing and helping faculty to be able to respond to grant opportunities. And so there is content. We have experts. We're doing this. And yeah, this is more of what we're looking for, and this is sort of the next step, right? Like having the leaders get involved in this so that it starts to change culture.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we've got resources there if that's an interest, to take I'll put the link to the course in the chat. That's probably the best way to explain what we're doing already.
Yeah, and if BizLibrary can produce a general course on grant writing, just to be that reinforcement even to the CPD course or what, that I think that would be huge. Or maybe it's a stepping stone prior to CPD, something like that. Lots to consider, but let's keep grant writing top of mind. Cool. All right, awesome. Lots of great ideas here. Lots of action items from me. I'm taking all of these and copying them into a notebook. So I'm going to meet with my content team to discuss a couple of these and have some updates for you. if not sooner, the next time that we all connect. So I think I had maybe one more slide here. Yeah. So client program support library, we've touched on this before, but I just wanted to remind you all that it's constantly updated with new resources for different programs. BizLibrary identified those 10 best practice program areas and created playbooks for them. So a new manager training, compliance training, customer service training, safety training, cybersecurity, all have playbooks that are continuously being updated with new content recommendations, new best practices, new marketing templates, all of those great resources. So if you don't keep an eye on this library and you all are looking for new training opportunities or have a training program that you're looking to roll out, see if our playbooks can provide you any additional support. Otherwise, reach out to myself and I'll be happy to help give you some direction on what BizLibrary has to offer. So I will stop sharing my screen here.
So we go to the browse library and then client playbook.
Oh, yeah. So go to BizLibrary here. Let me actually, while I'm still sharing my screen, I'll show you. So if we go to browse library up here where we get to administration, if we just go to browse library like a learner would, we'll wait for that to load. And then we'll go down to library. And then you'll probably have like 3 libraries listed: the BizLibrary collection, SUNY Cortland custom library, and then you should also have this client program support library. If you don't see that there, which has happened from time to time, that was a pretty manual thing that we had to do to add access for all administrators. So some of them didn't get targeted with this library privilege. So just send me a note and I'll get you added.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep. And this even goes back to last year too, where we had like those monthly topics on like May is Mental Health Month, an activity, an email, and a flyer for an elective program on that realm. Pride Month. While I see that here, let me also note that I just saw a new release just now today for Juneteenth course within the library, just released today, hot off the press.
No, that's a good one.
So lots of DE&I focus this year. I would say DE&I and leadership development are the 2 big focuses from our content team. You'll also see a lot of, I can stop sharing my screen. You'll also see a lot of courses that maybe they're from like 2020, 2019. The context of the course and everything is still good. It's not going to get retired, but we may go back and do some accessibility updates or work on the color and contrast of videos and make sure that we're being cognizant of all of those areas as well. So big focuses this year from our content team on revamping that and DE&I and leadership development. So
Good. Good. What questions does our community have? Anything that you're working through right now that you want to share with the group? Things going well, maybe some things that are in your way? Leaving it open. This is your chance to brag or ask a question.
I can ask a question real quick. I was working with Eric at SUNY Cortland on and Eric, jump in if I missay anything here, but we had a faculty member that teaches on health and wellness at the campus, and they wanted to bring in their resources. They're a subject matter expert in health and wellness. They wanted to bring in their resources to the library. So not sure if anybody has any experience working with any instructors like that, but if you do, I know Eric would love any insight. We've got a lot of options as far as like just creating a playlist and making it elective, or soliciting people to register or contact HR to be assigned a learning initiative for all of these different resources. Lots of different things, but I don't know, Nick or Rebecca or Tammy, if any of you all have any options like that. Rebecca, I think maybe you worked with some professionals.
Yes, I don't know how my audio is sounding now. Is it better or worse? Okay.
Better, actually, yeah.
Oh, good. So I actually was approached by our financial management team because they wanted to include their resources in BizLibrary too, in terms of just how to access BI and those types of things. So I went through kind of a brief training with them just to get them acclimated with the system. And I kind of gave one of the people privileges to go in and add their content to the library. And then I don't think they've worked with it recently, but I did say, I'm available if you need help. We were open, right? We didn't know if other campuses were doing this too. And, we're not a huge team over here. So it's something that, I didn't really want to manage, but I also wanted to make sure that they understood this was all confidential, and not kind of overextend the privileges if I didn't have to, I guess. So it's something that we're still working with, but I'm open to it, right? Like I'm open to people saying they want to use the system for trainings because I think it's a great opportunity. It's just, I'm still in that managing how we're going to do it and what it's going to look like, and creating more of a process for those who are going to work with it that are not within HR. So
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot of advice other than I'm in the same boat kind of and still trying to figure that out. But like
You
I said,
spotlighted one thing there, Rebecca, bandwidth. I don't know if I want to manage it. Same thing.
yes.
Yep.
Eric, very
That's exactly
similar.
what I was kind of at. I was like, I like the idea and I like it. I just don't really have the time to oversee it and maintain it and update it and things like that.
Right,
So
that is the same situation that I'm in too.
Yeah, we did Management Matters series. So it was like managers training, and it was in person once a month for this past year. They just graduated in March, and it was hybrid because we've got some people at a distance. So the sessions, for the most part, where we recorded them. There were some that just couldn't be recorded for whatever reason, but we've got the large majority of them that are on Zoom. And so we had somebody in our special events office upload them to the LMS. And so now we've got this series of management training that's pretty nice. So I didn't have to do it. I had somebody in the special events office, and they're pretty technology capable. They just uploaded a Zoom recording, essentially. And so that was pretty easy for him to do. And now I can, send that link out to people and say, here it is.
That's one area that Eric and I talked about, was if this individual faculty member it's awesome that they want to expand their knowledge to other faculty and staff and not just the students, which is incredible. But maybe if he or she wants to create like a video or a recording to upload or share, that'd be good. And then just attach, because they had several different resources and articles and things like that to share. So once the video is in there, we can go through kind of some customizations to it to add links and add attachments and things like that. But that's huge.
I did have another department recently offer travel training, right? Like, so that's something all employees need. They need to know, what are the rules here at SUNY system for traveling? He wants to do the training. And I suggested him, you should record it, and then we can put it in the LMS. And then it's always there. You don't have to keep offering this, or worrying that, oh, when's the last time I did it? If there's significant changes, then it's like, now it's time to fix that, update it, do another one. So we'll see if he takes me up on the offer, but now I know I've got the person in the special events that knows how to upload the Zooms. So it's not just me.
You can even make that full circle in the LMS too. With the addition of virtual classroom, you can have one session, like just, or multiple sessions, whatever, in the LMS. Like they actually log into the LMS, attend the training, then the system tracks who attended, who didn't attend, But it also records it and automatically creates it as a course that you can then assign out to the people that didn't attend, or you can make it available in the future to other faculty, staff members that need to get their travel training. So everything that we're doing in the LMS is really trying to make it so that learners don't have to bounce between different technologies, and we really don't want any obstacles to learning. That's the biggest obstacle is when there's technology issues or just multiple avenues of getting training. It makes it a little flooded as a learner to be like, where do I go for what? So we just want to make BizLibrary kind of the one-stop shop for training. So
yeah, and I'm just trying to think of what could make life a little easier for people that are in these positions like Erica and Rebecca and maybe Nick, where you've got more people at your campus that are interested in being like a administrator in the system. I know there are BizLibrary training courses already in the system that you can share with them. Has that been helpful?
Yes, I did share with them the playlist. I don't know if they've been able to look at it, but I think it will certainly help, as well as the help articles that are in BizLibrary and the support link or the support number to like.
Yeah, and I forgot to include in my also already too long presentation, but I forgot to include this. I'll send this out in the follow-up too. The May schedule of live trainings with Sam. So managing,
oh, good.
Managing libraries, content delivery, and then at the end of the month there's quite a few this month. New administrator training. So that's always the base of the ins and outs of being an administrator in the LMS. So in these instances where we've just got a faculty member that wants to, maybe bring in some of their expertise, that new administrator training would likely be super helpful.
Yeah, Brandon, if you could send me that list, I'll make sure that when I send this recording out to the full community, that's in the email.
Okay, cool.
Anything else top of mind?
I just wanted to mention.
Wait, hold on, wait. Your mic is like, okay. Try one more.
Darn, it was working so good.
It was, yeah. Well, now you're muted, so there we go. Right. Eric, it sounds like the faculty person that wants to cover health and wellness. It sounds like they're the subject matter expert, right? So they're all set with that aspect of it.
Yeah, the main thing is that it's pretty interactive. There's a lot of like group activities and things. So that's kind of the tricky part too. If they could adjust it a little bit to be less interactive, like obviously being interactive is a great thing. Like that makes it more interesting, getting people involved. But if they could adjust it a little bit so that way we could get it into Biz in a form that's a little bit less interactive. So that way, I think then the material would make a little bit more sense to put on Biz. It's not like a live classroom.
I think the interactive activities, you could still have them include, but just make it a separate document. That could be like a train the trainer, or like if somebody wants to host it in person, like they're playing the video and they've got a group that's live that wants to use it, they've got these suggested activities that the instructor has already written.
Yeah, there's definitely additions for support materials to any course.
Yeah.
So
I know as a trainer, I love when I see that in Biz, like there'll be either a transcript or an extra attachment, just those supplemental materials I find helpful as a trainer, because then I know, okay, I can do more than just send this link to somebody. If I want to teach a group, I've got it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think what we were looking at was like we don't want to assign this out and an individual will be taking it and they can't do the activities because it requires a full group or something like that. But I think just including them as like support materials to other courses that aren't that way.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't answer the whole question, right? Because like you're saying, Eric, you got to make sure that he does the initial job, which is communicating to the online learner in this format what the content is. So they have to do some thinking, but I don't want them to lose their work. They can still use it.
Right. That makes sense.
Rebecca, did you put something in the chat?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
So I actually just joined on my phone, so that's what we'll have to do from now on. We use Teams mostly on our campus. I don't know what happened when we stopped using Zoom. I just wanted to thank those who have reached out about the workplace violence and cybersecurity trainings. Those I'm hoping we can launch soon. We're currently waiting for our AUI to be set up. And that's kind of what's, I guess, holding us back from doing more of our compliance trainings. But I'm hoping once that piece is set up correctly, then we can send out those compliance trainings. But similar to what you were saying, Carolyn, we actually had the certificate program. We had someone come in and they provided 4 different workshop sessions, and we recorded those. And then I saved the video and uploaded it in UJA, which is our transcribing system, so that the link would be accessible. And then I put it in BizLibrary and included the reflection questions so that if they weren't able to make it in person or via Teams, they could go into BizLibrary and still receive that certificate. So we have used that, and we enjoy that and hope to do that more in the future as well.
That's great. You're really using it. I love to hear these stories, Rebecca. That's awesome.
We're trying. Yes, it's still, I still have to call support quite often to make sure I'm doing things correctly, but I'm happy with the responses that we do get from support. Just calling and then they're right there is so nice.
Good. And I'm going to make a mental note that you really like about your job, the onboarding piece, because at some point, system, if we have more training resources, that is an area that we need to focus on.
So my other goal, I guess, before I go out on leave, I'm actually I'm carrying my second child, and I'm going out in July, but I'm still responsible for orientation. So I'm hoping to use the playbooks that are in BizLibrary to set up something for employees, and then having the in-person one in August. So I'll let you know how it goes, but that's kind of one of my goals before I go out.
Well, congratulations, and I hope everything is smooth sailing. And look, you're going to have the system doing your job for you. That's awesome.
I know. Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
No, and I think that's a great. I would love to see what you come up with too. If there's an easy way for you to share that with me, or maybe just have a Zoom and you can show me around. I would love to see it.
Sounds good. Buff State's in transition mode. We're going to be getting a new president at some point, so we'll have to recreate some of the videos that we have and make sure everything's up to date. So it might take some time to get everything the way we want it, but
yeah.
It's
One
cool.
step forward.
Yes.
Eric, I hope some of that's helpful. Nick, hopefully we inspired you to, start doing some of this on your campus, or at least communicating that it's available to people if they ask. And Brandon, you did a fabulous job taking us through a lot in a short amount of time. So I will share this recording with everybody so that it's available, and I will look for those dates for the refresh trainings from Sam. Some of those sound really good. And so I'm sure there will be people who want to sign up.
Awesome. I'll get the deck and that out to you here shortly.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Be healthy.
All right. See y'all.
Bye.